So welcome to the next video of the 4 built-in data types for Python as in storing data collections, the lists, tuples, dictionaries and sets. Though we've already talked about the lists, and now we are going to talk about the tuples. So if you've not watched that one of lists, we are still okay to watch this one, and you can give me a thumbs up below, so as you can watch my next coming videos. So let's get in. Tuples are ordered. They can contain duplicate elements and have only one disadvantage, that they are immutable, meaning they can't be changed. Once they have been written like this, they can't be changed. But we are to see a way of how we can be able to change elements that are already punched in a tuple. So let's start. And tuples are created using those parentheses. So I can say my tuple, and I give it my, I can assign it these values, and they must be more than one, or if it is only one, you must put that comma. So let me give it names such as Josh, such as Annie. I give it names such as John. I give it names such as Philip. This is my tuple that I have, and we are going to first look at methods such as ones to access the elements of a tuple, or the easiest that applies to all as length of my tuple, which you can find as the number of elements in this tuple. Let's just print it. And oops, they are 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And what we should take note of is that accessing tuples by index is the same way we accessed elements of a list by using an index slicing methods. So let me try to access my tuple at a certain index. Let me make it a range of all, meaning the starting position to the minimum and the last position to the maximum. So this one should bring all elements in my tuple. So it should bring them as this. You can also use the negative indexing, and you print my tuple at, let's say, remember we should first assign the starting index as the list. Let me say it is like -3 after -1. So -1 won't be inclusive, but -3 will be inclusive as we count from the right to left of the tuple. So let's run this and see that we have -1, which will be exclusive. Then we have -2 and -3. So Annie and John are the ones that are getting casted here. So we didn't see how we can create a tuple also in this way. We can just say my tuple, and we say that it is equaling to tuple as typecasting of Python that it has in its mind, then you put other elements, even though they are dictionaries or lists. But using typecasting, you can also create a tuple of your own. So let's go to checking if an element exists in a tuple. So we can say we can use an if statement, and we ask if Josh appears in my tuple. Then I just want to echo something that is yes, maybe he does. So, and if not, so I think this one should be true, and it should be executed. If it was false, then it would run to an else block, which I've not written per now, as we are just rushing through. So let me put you to focus that the in keyword was just checking the existence of something in a tuple, though we can use a for loop and other methods to loop through tuples, and we just have to put some conditions, as we're gonna see as we do workarounds along our video, this one. So let's now look at how we can update the tuples, though we saw that tuples are immutable or can't be changed. Tuples can't be changed is what we saw, but there is a way. Which way? By what if we just say my tuple equals to, we can change it into a list of my tuple, or we can also say we have just changed my tuple into a list, and now we want to append using the list method. Since now my tuple has already turned into something else, we can just say my tuple dot append, and we append an item and we call it appended item. So this one, if we again now convert our list into a tuple back, so I can just say my tuple will be equal to now tuple into my tuple, because my tuple it was a list, but now we have again converted it into a tuple. So I like to print my tuple, and we see that it comes with an appended item. So that's one way of let me just leave it in the notes so that if you have it for reference, it can be easier for you. So this is one way of updating elements in a tuple. And so what is the other way? This is the other way of doing it. Okay, let me just make it clear instead of doing it and I say of updating tuple elements. I just have to say that oops, let's first make these ones of different let's first make them different, and we put a small, and after we've come back we say, instead of creating some other tuple, we are unpacking these elements of short shirt and trouser, and we are assigning them to what is height. So having height, we can say that short will belong to small, then shirt will be to a medium, and trouser will be for the large. If there were many here, so we would use the asterisk so that we sync the remaining ones to either one of the elements in these that I'm unpacking. So let's continue do that. So we can see that when we decided to print short, it is automatically assigned to small. Let's first run this code and see what's the input. Yes, this is it. So that is unpacking, and if there were many like this, and I had other stuffs about the short, let's say, okay, about the remaining, like extra large or XL, and the trouser will be given an asterisk before it to show that all the remaining will be belonging to the trouser side. So if I come here and I decide to print trouser, they will show me that it has two outputs, large and XL. So that's about unpacking a tuple. And next, maybe we can look at looping through values of a tuple. We can use a for loop. Let me make it clear for you, and I call it looping through values of the tuple. So using a for loop, and I can say for I, or for let me call it just x in height, maybe let me just use my tuple that I created before, which is my tuple, for x in my tuple, then print that x. Should print them on separate lines like this way, and I can print them using the iterators, using for I in range of, then use the range function, which will cater for the length of that my tuple, and I say, sorry, I will say print my tuple, then here are elements in it, and I should be able to get them here like the one getting them. So those are the two different ways. I can also loop through them using a while loop, which needs to be initialized and incremented, because if you don't put that condition in a while loop, it might make you stuck into a certain loop, while I have to first initiate it. and I just while I is less than length of my tuple, I wanna print my I, and after that for each iteration I must increment it by 1. Let me just make it unique from others so that it becomes different and I isolate it. I will just say let me just put comma, then I oops, this is what we are talking about, and let's first terminate this. We are oops, here we didn't assign, we just used I press 1, which is something pretty surprising, but we should have done it this way. And then we are not printing the iterations, we are printing the elements of this block. So should say my tuple, then whatever is in it, and here it should really run up to the extent we need it to run. So that's it, and that's specifically looping through values of a tuple using for and while loops, and we can have some more complex examples as we will be looking at those exercises in some other videos that I'm planning to upload here. So we shall be having some complex tasks because I found it important that if you get the basics of them in theory at the start, and even not only theory, but we are coding in real time. So if you don't know the basics, it can be pretty hard to give you a question and you interpret it and you think of what you can apply there and you come out with the best answer. So let's move at the next piece of workarounds that we are going to. We can maybe join tuples, and after tuples we look at the tuple methods and other methods that we can discover on our own. So let's look at joining tuples. I had my tuple as that had names like this. So I have my other tuple. Let me just call it tuple, and since it's secured, I add an underscore. I say my tuple is I wanna call it added. Then I have now like two tuples, which has one as my tuple, the second one is added, is tuple. So let me just say tuple 3, tuple 3 will be equal to my tuple, then plus tuple, and you should have noticed some mistake I have already done here, but it can be fixed by adding that comma, and then I print out my tuple 3, and we should be having something like this with an added. So that's joining tuples together, and let's there are other tuple methods like count. So count, they are like index. So you can use my other method I was using before, or if you want to see whatever method you can use under a tuple, then you can pick any tuple you have from there, and you can print the methods it has for you in print to check on print, and then let me go to the end and I see what it has for me in print. Oops, let me just spray it here so we can see all of the methods that lie under tuple. So I think this is the sum up of all I wanted to say in this video for tuples, and now we are going to dictionaries and later on to sets as we complete these 4 iterables, these 4 storage for collections of datasets in Python, apart from arrays that Python don't have as their data types majorly. So let me talk to you in the next video. Thank you.